Good morning, everyone, from Cabrillo Beach. This is somewhere I've always wanted to check out. Jack and I, we anchored here yesterday as part of our circumnavigation of Catalina Island, so you can check out that video to come. Or maybe it already happened, I don't know, but here, there'll be a card right there. This is a really cool beach. It's got this awesome rock right here off of Little Gibraltar. It's got some really cool plants on it, actually. And then, so you got that coastal bluff that goes to like a chaparral, and then up, and you can see a little bit of an island woodland. It's hard to tell from here, but it looks like there's some ironwood, some rare Catalina ironwoods up at the top. It was cool. I couldn't really get it on film, but there's a little bit of mist there last night. And so just a nice little foggy mist right in that bank. So I guess it's maybe really needs that kind of that habitat. But anyways, we're gonna try to climb up and then see if we can get up to those ironwoods. If they are ironwoods, I'm not sure, so we'll go confirm it. But that's part of the exploration. Yeah, I'm all stoked. This is awesome. So one of the more prominent features you're going to see here as you enter into Cabrillo Beach is this rock formation over here. I think it's called Little Gibraltar, I'm not sure, but oh, and there he goes. So I was a little hesitant to go bow and stern, which is suggested by Mark Houston in his book for here at Cabrillo Beach. But I really don't like my stern anchor. It just won't set. It's a Lumar Bruce anchor, and it's having a lot of trouble. It's pretty dull, so I'm gonna have to switch that out. But that's why I'm lucky that there was nobody here, so I can just go on a single hook right now. But it's really cool. There are iron spikes, one in this little rock formation off of the cliff, and then also on this bigger one on the other side. And so those are areas you can tie off to on your stern and have a safe night's sleep knowing you're not going to be swinging around. I think there's also one on the beach, but... So there are a couple campsites, I think about 4 total here, and you really can't get a bad one. They're all fantastic. To pick the best one, maybe 3 and 4, but they're all good. So right at the inlet, coming out of feeding down this canyon, you have where freshwater can collect, and you got a lot of this rush here. I believe it's Juncus effusus. I could be wrong. I'm always kind of iffy on my Juncus identification, but really cool plant, real spiky, and yeah, just it's a water-loving plant. So there's probably some fresh water feeding through here. But real drought tolerant as well, so it can take intermittent periods of drought. This plant actually can be used for twine and I think even boat making before historically, so it's a really important plant in our evolutionary history. So this is called a rush or a Juncus. Which species, I don't remember. I'll put it in the right here. Say Juncus something. Genus, Juncus, species. You can see it going up the canyon here. We see a lot of the island chaparral. So we have species like toyon, the heteromelus or ilicifolia. We're also seeing some scrub oaks, which Quercus pacifica, and then also Laurel sumac, or which you can see a lot pretty prominent down here on the beach as well. So that's a Malosma laurina. One way to identify the Malosma laurina or the Laurel sumac compared to like toyon is you can see it has like these taco-shaped leaves. So that's a great way identifying characteristic. There's a lot of these out in the chaparrals and even in the kind of coastal sage scrub chaparral transitional zones as well. It's pretty widespread throughout Southern California, but yeah, that's one way to identify it, is by these taco-like leaves and these little plumes, like little corsage of flowers that then go to berry and fruit. So great pollinator plant. Butterflies and definitely birds really love this. I've been hearing a lot of birds up into this canyon. The Malosma are all in berry right now, and they put on a lot of them, so I'm sure they're getting a lot of food. So we'll keep our eyes out. We got binoculars and see what we can find. All right, making a target list for the bird species I want to see. Island scrub jay, if we can find it. But I think what we're gonna get lucky here is a spotted towhee. That would be really cool to see. So I think it is an island subspecies here. So we'll see if we can find that. Also, the bald eagle, if we can ever find that, that's always a treat. So we'll see what we can find. All right, so we've made a pretty steep incline here. We're still in the chaparral. We see the Malosma and some toyons, but we're gonna transition here pretty soon, make our way over into this island woodland. See this whole grove of what looks like the Catalina Island cherry, or Prunus ilicifolia subspecies lyonii. So we'll see how quickly the plants and maybe even the animals and everything changes here pretty soon. We're about to enter into the oak woodland here, but you can see that just along all the understory and intermittent between trees is all this dormant grassland, and what happened is you can see straight ahead there's a couple deer, and so the deer are not native here. They're put on islands for food historically, and so for hunting, and what they do is the ecosystem here has not evolved for having grazing ungulates, and so they're converting a lot of the chaparral and woodland to this grassland where those deer are more native to. A lot of people, they see a deer when they visit the islands and they're like, wow, what a magical moment, and it is. But understanding the ecology of this area and the conservation needs, the deer really need to go if they're gonna really have the island here to heal itself. So that's part of the conservation issues that we have to tackle here on the island. So I've talked about this tree extensively in other videos, but we have entered into the island woodland, and the dominant species we see here is this Catalina Island cherry, or the Prunus ilicifolia subspecies lyonii. And what I like to mention about that tree is that on the mainland, it's a mid-sized shrub, kind of a taller shrub, about 10 feet or so. But here on the islands, it's evolved with a phenomenon of island gigantism to be a much taller, sometimes even 40-foot tree. But yeah, it does put on a native berry, a cherry, that is edible, and it's just a beautiful plant. I have it in my yard. I love it. The flowers are great for butterflies, and that fruit as well for bees, or for birds. And the flowers as well are great for native bees as well. It's a great pollinator habitat plant. As you can see, it's providing a lot of habitat here on the island. So. This has been the dream. Exploring new anchorages, finding rare and endangered species on islands with your sailboat down waiting for you patiently on anchor. And nobody in sight, just me and my dog. We just exited the island woodland with this grove of cherries, and now we're making our way up on this ridge, up to where I think there might be a grove of Catalina Ironwood, a really rare tree, endemic only to Catalina Island. Sure enough, we were right. There's just a couple of the Catalina Ironwood. Lyonothamnus floribundus, subspecies floribundus, only occurs here on Catalina Island. So that's interesting, because last time I saw these was on the next anchorage over at Goat Harbor. So it seems like they like the semi-higher elevation right along the ridge. Last night I noticed the fog came in and rolled, and there's pretty foggy, misty only right here in this little spot. So maybe that's why the ironwood exists here. And on the other side as well, in these higher spots that can collect a bit of that extra moisture. But man, they just have an excellent view down at Cabrillo Harbor. A flowering tree in the rose family. Gorgeous, gorgeous upright island, Catalina Ironwood. Rare tree, only occurs here on Catalina Island. Behind us here is Goat Harbor. Put a card right in here of our exploration of that. Just along that ridge there is where we also saw some island ironwood, so Catalina Ironwood. So it's cool. It's part of the distribution here. See more up on this bluff up here too. So nice to see your boat still safe on anchor after a long exploration. She's a sight for sore eyes. Alright, I want to thank you all for joining me on today's hike and exploration of Cabrillo Beach. Well, I guess we went up a little higher than just the beach, but anyways, thanks for coming along. I hope you guys learned a couple new plants, and yeah, please hit that like and subscribe button, hit that little bell as a reminder next time I have a new video coming up. I'm trying to do them every 2 weeks or so, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, right now I'm gonna haul up anchor and make our way back to Dana Point. We're leaving a little bit later than I wanted to, but that was a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks for joining me and Jack, and we'll see you next time.